So, Doug, we want to thank you for coming out to talk to the Breakfast Group, students. Our organization is about youth and families reaching the highest levels in education and economic opportunities. And one of the things I read about you was your faith. And they say you have a boulder on your shoulder. I like that. Can you tell me a little bit about how you were able to take that and apply it to some of the things that you were able to do in your life, specifically around your academics, when you kind of got to a crossroad where your friends might have been saying, hey, this is more important than your studies or more important than you working out for football, things like that?
Yeah, so it goes back. I grew up in the Catholic Church. You know, I wasn't very strict in following the rules of the Catholic Church. However, I found my faith and my relationship with God at some point in high school. I couldn't even tell you. But the main part of that is believing without seeing. You know, when Jesus comes back after he rises from the dead and he walks into this room and Thomas is sitting there and he says, I don't believe Jesus has risen. I'll believe it when I see him. And then Jesus just appears in the room and he tells him, see, your problem is that you can't believe without seeing. Once you believe without seeing, then you'll be open to so many different things. And that's the way I try to live my life now. You know, my faith in working hard and my dedication, whether it's in the academics or on the football field or just in life in general, I try to be the best person that I can be. But the fact of the matter is I'm going to make mistakes. We're all human. We're not perfect. But that effort that I put into trying to be better each day, whether it's in academics or on the football field, that's why I try to lead my life, or how I try to lead my life, because ultimately I feel like that's going to get me to where I want to be.
And when some people think that you just do football, so can you tell us a little bit about, you know, life outside of football and how much you thought you put into that and how much hard work you put into that?
Yeah, so in order to get to this level in the NFL, you have to go to college, right? And then not only do you have to go to college, you have to make the grades so that you can perform on the field. They won't let you play on the field if you don't have the grades. And so that took a lot of effort, especially at an institution like Stanford. It wasn't easy. And we had to learn how to organize our time, balance our time. And a lot of times it meant that I couldn't go out and party with some of the other students. We had to be dedicated to our craft. We had to stay in on Friday nights and study our playbooks and watch film. And that hard work and dedication, as I keep repeating, that's what ultimately allowed me to get an opportunity playing in the NFL.
And I'm glad you shared that message, because a lot of young people don't understand that Stanford being one of the top universities in our country means you got to study all the time. You got to put a lot of hard work in. And for you to come out and say that it's so important for young people to put down their phones and stop using Facebook, take a little bit of time and read a lot of this extra academics and curriculum and math and science, that's critical to hear you say that. And I want the young people to kind of really understand that message from you. So I appreciate you telling us that.
Of course, and I'll even go further to say this. One of the biggest quotes that even our coaches tell us today is that wherever you are, whether it's on the field or you're out in your public life or your private life, you have to make the right decisions. You have to sacrifice the easier wrong for the more difficult right. And for us, like you said, it's staying in on Friday nights and getting our work done so that we have an opportunity to perform at a high level. We didn't win the Super Bowl going out and partying on Friday nights. You know, we banded together as brothers and made sure that we were on point so that when we came to work on Sundays, there was nobody that was going to stop us. And like I said, that hard work and dedication came from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday night, Saturday night, all the way leading up to Sunday.
Well, we were happy about that. I heard some rumblings about appetizers, and I thought about that and I was like, wow. You know, it's easy for someone to look at someone and say, we're going to write you off. You're not going to do this. You're not going to do that. Can you talk to the young people that we're talking to? We have some young students right now that might have been taken out of the mainstream high school and kicked out and done some bad things. But now they're there and they want to sort of like, I want you to kind of talk to them about how they can take where they are now and turn that into where they want to be. Because right now, some of those students, they're feeling like, we're done. No one cares about us. We don't have families. We don't have money. We don't have opportunities. And I want them to know there are opportunities. And I want them to hear from you kind of where they might kind of jump off from that point where they are now and kind of get to where they want to go.
Well, first and foremost, at any point in your life, it doesn't matter whether you're 15, 16, 17, 18, or if you're 30, 40, 50 years old, it's never too late for you to change your life and to do something more positive in your life. One of the creeds I live by is control what you can control. And then my faith, I say, and let God control the rest. The only thing that you have control in life is what you do, how you react to what situations you're placed in. And in any given situation, there's multiple decisions that you have to make. And if you take the time to make the right decision, that you sacrifice the easier wrong for the more difficult right, it'll give you an opportunity to rise up out of whatever predicament you're in and accomplish the dreams and goals that you've aspired to be or to do. It doesn't matter where you are, and it doesn't matter whether you're in a private school, a public school, or a Title I school. It doesn't matter. You have the tools, and the tools are what are up here in your head and the dedication you're going to put into it. And that's, you know, I get fired up about it because I've been there. You know, in high school, they told me, oh, you have decent grades, but you won't go to a good school. They told me, you're okay on the football field, but you won't go to college. Then when I got to college, they said, oh, you're okay in the classroom, you probably won't be eligible to play football. Then when I was eligible to play football, oh, you're good on the football field, you won't make it to the NFL. So every time that they told me that I couldn't do something, I proved to them that I could do it. Not only just to prove them wrong, but to also prove myself right. And that was the dedication that I put into it because I didn't want anything to stop me. I controlled what I could control and let God control the rest.
So I felt some of that boulder right there coming out when you're delivering that message. Someone said preparation is in the separation. Now, who made that phrase up?
It was a collective. Most of the receivers, Russ would take credit for it, but as a collective, we kind of made that up that, you know, it's important to work hard and prepare for the games. The more preparation we put into it, the further we're going to separate ourselves from the competition.
Would you say that for young people now who are competing for jobs and competing for opportunities, would you say that right now preparation is in the separation for them? Yes,
without a doubt. Right now they're blessed with an opportunity to be getting public school or private school or Title I school. It doesn't matter, like I said, wherever they are, they still have the tools to be able to separate themselves from the competition. But they got to put in the work now, you know, and like go back to what we were saying about Friday night, people wanting to go out and party, Saturday night party. If they put in the work now as young adults, as kids in high school, if they put in the work now, that will accumulate to something that they can pass on to their children and enjoy themselves when they get to adulthood. If they just focus on controlling what they control and working hard now, they're going to open up so many doors that they're going to be able to enjoy that people that didn't work hard then are going to be missing out on. So the people that they're hanging out with now that may be running the streets, maybe partying on Friday nights, they're going to be stuck doing those same things and not being able to elevate their lives and enjoy themselves when they get to adults because they didn't take care of it when they had the chance to.
Yeah. When I was young, I had this vision that I wanted to do something. And I remember I was at this unique moment where I was with a bunch of guys and they said, oh, you're not going to be able to do that. And immediately I kind of looked at those guys and I realized I might not have been with the right people. Have you ever found yourself in a situation where you had to look at the surroundings that you had and be able to manage those surroundings? So with those guys, I love those guys. And I still remain friends with them, but I just kept them at a distance. And I let the other guys who were the more motivating ones and encouraging ones get a little closer to me, and so then I was able to grow and do more things. Have you ever been in a situation like that?
Of course, all the time. Peer pressure is one of the most powerful things when you're dealing with youngsters in high school, college, elementary school, whatever it may be. For me, it wasn't just those that discouraged me, that told me, oh, you won't be able to do that. It wasn't just those people. I mean, that was plain and simple. That was common sense. I had to get rid of those people to me. It was also those people, those close friends of mine that didn't have the drive that I had, that I was trying to drag along with me, and they were pretty much dead weight to me, you know. And as much as I love them, and I'm still, you know, friends with them to this day, however, I had to leave them behind because in order for me to achieve my goals, I had to be selfish. I had to be focused on what I could control. And so at that time when my close friends in high school, when, you know, they were out partying Friday nights, you know, they were encouraging me saying, oh yeah, you'll be able to make it to the NFL. Hey, but come hang out with me on Friday night. I said, no, man, I can't do it. That's not what's in my plan. So those guys I had to leave to the side as well.
This will probably be the last question. Who was the person that you would say was the most, well, this is not a fair question to ask you who's the most impactful. Maybe give me one or two people.
I have an answer for you.
Okay. One or two people who made an imprint in your life that said you kind of looked up to and you were like, all right, I can do what I want to do. I can hit my goals.
The most influential person in my life by far is my mother. You know, she, not just because of how she treated me or how she raised me, but more so the example that she gave when she was dealing with everything else. You know, her marriage, her family, you know, her husband's family, just the way that she went about her business and how she controlled what she could control and didn't worry about everything else. You know, she allowed me to see that there was a bigger picture. You know, and like I said, she always taught me that it's important to not just be focused on the destination, but be focused in the moment and try to get through the journey, because the journey is where you learn everything. That's the most powerful part of getting to your destination. So my mother, I mean, there's countless things that she's taught me that I could, you know, just, she always said that you got to find value in the valley. So when you're down low and you're struggling, find value in that, because when you get back up to the top, you're going to remember that. And if you forget about that, then you have a tendency to go back down to the valley. But if you remember where you came from and you remember the struggle, when you get to the top, you'll never become complacent. You'll never become satisfied. You'll keep going. And so I live with that every day of my life. And like I said, my mom by far is the most influential person in my life.
Finding value in the valley.
Value in the valley.
I appreciate that.
Yes,
well,
sir.
you know, you've answered a lot of questions for us. I want to make sure before we start to wrap up, is there anything else you really want to say to the young people? I mean, we know that they have a big road ahead of them, but we know that the opportunity is enormous ahead of them. We know that the education, for many ways for them, could be the key to getting from where they are now to where they want to go. Is there any last few key words you want to say?
Yeah, I'll say this. My uncle used to always tell me growing up that in life, you get this toolbox, this imaginary toolbox, right? And everything in life gives you a tool to handle something in life so that you can build what you want to accomplish. You can build the steps to get to where you need to be. And the most profound, the most used tool in this toolbox of life is the tool of education. And he always used to tell me, you know, me growing up playing football and basketball, he said, you can break your arm. You know, you can break your leg, something can happen to your knees, you can get paralyzed where you can never play football or basketball again, but nobody can take what you put in your brain. Nobody can take that out of you. And so that, I mean, obviously that stuck with me to this day. It was a powerful message to me that I needed to do everything that I could to give myself an opportunity to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish. And if those goals of playing football and basketball didn't pan out, that I would have something to fall back on. I'd have my education, everything that I worked hard in school, to be able to find a job, to be able to prosper and take care of my family in the right way. So that is the key message that I wanted to relay, and also the fact that it's going to be difficult. At times, it's not going to be easy. Nothing's going to be handed to you. One of the biggest things in my life that I'm reflecting on now is I hate the word deserve. A lot of people talk about, oh, I deserve this. I deserve, exactly. You don't deserve anything in life. When you step out into the field of life, you got to earn everything that's given to you. You got to earn everything that you want. And so at times it's not going to be easy. It's going to be extremely difficult. But that's the greatest part about it. That when you earn it, you know it's yours. You know you accomplished it because you put the work in and you put the effort in to earn it. And other than that, find value in the valley.
You shared some real key words with us. One last little thing. So when you go in the practice field and Sherm lines up with you,
I got some tape. I got some tape on my phone right now.
Camera on now.
I got some tape on my phone right now where I can show you me eating up Sherm.
That's how come he learned how to react, right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Appreciate it. Thank you
so
much for doing it.
Yeah, no doubt.